Welcome to Between the Covers. We're the show for readers and writers and lovers of books. I'm Stephanie Larkin. I'm the owner of Red Penguin Books, a publishing company for authors of all types and genres. So whether you have a manuscript all ready to go or you have just been dying to write a book for decades, visit redpenguinbooks.com and unleash your inner author. I am so thrilled to be joined by three authors who got the job done. The books are right here on the table and we are ready to roll. So please welcome Andrea Roche, Raquel Tolson, and Maureen Calamia.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And we have a Between the Covers book club. It's like a library card here. And if you join the book club, well, you're all in. But you can just go to betweenthecoverstv.com, click to sign up. You'll be getting free digital books, book recommendations, all sorts of things, and you'll get to know our authors a lot better. So please visit betweenthecoverstv.com. And hey, if you're here around on a Wednesday night, you can even have a free glass of wine.
Oh, thank you.
You three are always welcome for a free glass of wine.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Anytime. Please join us. And when you write your next book and your next book, you're back on the red couch, okay?
Right.
We've had a couple of guests already on twice because they had another book coming out. I think we've had two already that have been on twice. So, you know, get those books going.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they keep on telling me.
Yeah, keep writing. Okay, so when you're not writing, I hope you're reading.
Yes.
Oh,
Are you reading?
Constantly.
I mean, I read like a million books.
Oh,
Well, this week I read all of your books.
Yeah.
So what else can I be reading? What do you have to recommend for us?
Well, I have actually I have three books from very, very good authors. Cynthia Austin, Tainted Luck, very good book. Under a Warped Cross.
Oh, I know this book, Tainted Luck. I don't know this one. Under
This
a Warped
is-
Cross. What is this about?
This is about a couple that are actually, they grow up together. And it's about these two people that they have to get away from, you know, the church that's in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I see the boat. They're
Yeah,
getting
they
away.
have to get away from the church that's in their county.
Oh, interesting.
So they actually have to run away from that.
Runaway story.
Yes.
Tainted Luck looks, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. Very good author, very interesting book about a young lady who has special powers.
Ooh, yes, I could see.
Yes.
I love a
yes,
cover that
special
tells me
powers.
exactly.
That's great.
That's a great cover because it tells me exactly what I need to know about the genre of that book. That's fantastic. And Getting Away. And what else do you have there?
And Lucifer's Game by Rachel Tamayo, a very good friend of mine, about Lucifer
that
and
cover, too.
his little games that he plays with a young lady, taking her away from her husband and family and everything like that.
Now, are these three
Temptation.
all local authors here?
No, this one's in Texas, this one's in North Carolina, and she's in California. I know these three people from book groups that I'm in. This was a Solstice author, which was my publishing company. So I actually know all three of them from
Fantastic.
there.
Tell them we'll Skype them in. I'd love to meet them.
Yes,
Thank you.
wonderful, thank you.
Ray, what are you reading?
So I was just introduced to Jasmine Gilroy and The Wedding Day.
I saw that book and I
is
thought,
so good.
that looks like
I
a good
haven't even
airplane
finished,
read.
but I got it because I'm traveling.
okay.
So I started it because I couldn't wait. I'm that person. I was like, I was supposed to wait till my trip tomorrow, but
Tomorrow is the trip.
tomorrow's the trip.
Okay.
And I'm going all the way to Italy, so I won't have.
Oh, you're not going to have it. Oh my gosh. You read too
I
fast.
read too much. Right, but it's so.
Ooh, I saw that book and I was thinking, because I'm
so
traveling in a
good.
few weeks too, I was
Yes.
thinking about it.
It's so good. I love interracial.
Oh, okay. Good,
You
good.
know, because we're all the same.
Oh, I see. I didn't even realize that. You know, I saw that cover and I was thinking, I didn't even realize. Nice.
Yeah.
Now I like that even better.
And what I really like about it too is because so many women, she second guesses a lot.
Oh, don't we all?
And we all do that
Yeah.
about, we second guess everything, and it's usually a negative. It's always negative. We think so negative about, especially in relationships. But then we find out We aren't the only ones.
Oh, I'm gonna have to get
We aren't the only
that.
ones. This is really good. I
love
can't wait
that.
to get on a plane and finish reading.
She's gonna finish it before she gets on that plane. The plane's not till tomorrow. She's gonna finish that before she gets on that plane.
probably
I know
right.
that. Maureen, what are you reading?
Absolutely. Well, I actually brought a book that inspired me.
Is that a library book? I love that.
love libraries.
I love that.
Love
Thank you. Thank
I have
you.
a story. So I wanted to bring this book because it means so much to me. It's called The Last Child in the Woods by Richard Louv, and it's a nonfiction book.
Okay.
And I was looking on my bookshelf for this book a few days ago, and I could not find it. And then I remembered I lent it to somebody. So I had to go to the library and get a copy.
Thank you. Thank you for going to the library.
But this book, like I said, was an inspiration for my book, which is very different from the other
I know.
books. that we talked
That's
about
why I love
today.
you together. That's great.
But it is just as the title says, The Last Child in the Woods. And it's really a call for us to realize that we're becoming so disconnected from nature.
Yes.
Not just us, but our children.
Yes.
And those generations of children that are coming up. They don't play in the woods like we used to. And half of the book is really, really sad, so you have to get your tissues because it's all about facts and statistics about how lack of connection to nature impacts us on every level, from physical to mental and spiritual. But then the second half of the book is really life-affirming and all the things that are happening out there and the wonderful things that are going on
I love
to develop that connection. So.
Love these recommendations. Thank you.
That's awesome. But I did hear we need to stop loaning our books, right?
Yeah.
I'll get it back.
She'll get it back. What I heard was thank God for the library. That's what I heard.
It's an amazing place.
That's
to
what
be.
I heard. Now, to our audience, when you're reading books and when you're finished, if you haven't lent it around, I want to give a huge shout out to our favorite charity, the Book Fairies. The Book Fairies accepts books of all types, children's books, adult books. They collect over 50,000 books every month. And they distribute them to schools. I was a little horrified to hear that our schools don't have enough books, and they're making these books available in schools in lower income areas that the teachers, literally one day a month, they can go to the Book Fairies warehouse and just drive up with a van, teachers, and take as much as they want. So I am so excited about the Book Fairies. So if you have books that you are finished with, please, you can bring them to me. Go to bookfairies.org. Bring them to the show. We'll give you a glass of wine if you bring some books. I have my trunk filled with books because I keep driving by every week after the show to drop off books. So please, please consider thebookfairies.org. We're going to take a short commercial break. We're going to have a glass of wine, and we'll be right back. Thanks.
Let's go. Let's go. No, I have plans with her. I'm sorry, but that's the deal.
A little bit closer, a little bit to the left. Yes, leave your beer, please. Okay, there we go. 3, 2,
Daddy,
What?
Daddy! Daddy. There's Mommy.
The sun is getting warmer. Oh, when we soar away among the clouds, the sky is just a border. Oh, when we're floating up like helium.
Welcome back to Between the Covers. See, we went to commercial and we filled our glasses while we were gone. Our first author today is Andrea Roche, who wrote Knights a Rose, which, let's see what it says here. Only one thing stands between them and destruction, and it's her. I love that. It's a great tagline and an
Thank you.
incredible cover.
Thank
I
you.
love the cover.
Thank you. Very talented young lady who made it.
And I know the book is fabulous because she also has her book award with her. I love this.
Wow.
This is fantastic.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Please, let's get a close-up of that.
New Apple Awards. They're very good. Very good. Good
Fantastic.
for independent authors.
Well, they know
small
quality.
book authors. Thank you.
Good stuff. So this is your first book.
That's it. That's my first baby.
It's your first. We will take care of
Book
it.
baby.
I promise. I
Thank you.
promise. So what inspired it?
Well, actually, my husband and I, on our honeymoon, went to Jamaica.
Okay.
It is set in Jamaica,
Yes.
and one day we were going through Montego Bay, and there was this huge house there. And we went up the hill, and this breeze came through me.
Ooh, I'm getting chills thinking about this.
Yeah, and all of a sudden I just felt a pull to the land there. And I looked over the ocean and I said, something went on here that was,
Oh my gosh.
something went on here that I have to tell people about. And it just came out a couple of years later.
Oh my
It
gosh.
came out after I had broken my hip. I was
no.
home for a little while, and I just started penning the book. It's just something behind me kept on telling me, Andrea, write this book.
Oh my goodness, I can't
Write it-
believe that.
Write about it.
Wow.
And it just all flowed out of me. It took me a couple of years to get it all right, but it just flowed and it came out. And after it was all done, I felt the whoosh.
Wow.
Yeah, like I was giving
What?
Birth.
Like, yeah,
The water
it's your
broke.
baby.
The water broke.
Yes.
And turned out to be a rose.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I had
Strong
no
character.
idea. And what a strong character.
She's very strong.
What a woman. I love
Yeah.
that. And
Thank you.
And I love the cover because that's really how I envision.
That's how you envision her. Very hard, tough.
She looks fierce.
She does.
She is.
Fierce is a great
Fierce.
word. She is fierce. But you know what I love is that she's not indestructible. You know, she actually is a little bit girly in that if something handsome walks by, she'll like instantly forget what she was supposed to be doing. No, seriously. She's like, I am fierce. Ooh, he's cute. I swear. I'm like, right?
we
I'm
all
like,
like
girl,
that.
you got
Girl.
a mission, man. And she's like, ooh, wow. Yeah. Oh my
We're
God.
all like that. We're all.
Yes.
I wanted to
I love
make her
that.
as much of a human as possible. Just
Absolutely.
the way she was coming through to me
I love
is
that.
how I wanted her to come through in the book.
Yeah, I don't want somebody who is like perfect.
No.
I loved that
No.
because I found myself kind of screaming like, "Stick to the plan, girl! You got things to do."
Exactly. Hop to it.
Yeah.
And then she does.
And she does.
She does.
And she
gets
does
down to
until the
it.
next
Get
piece
that.
of
Yeah, tail comes
meat
with-
walks
yeah.
by.
Yeah.
I love that. I love her little flaw.
Yes.
That was very
she's
nice.
very girly when she needs to be.
is. She's
but
girly
she's
when
also
she
very,
needs to be, and
very
fierce
tough.
when she needs to be. And that's, you know, just for our aspiring writers out there, and I know we have so many, I love that, you know, making somebody multidimensional. Too many times. I mean, you see this on television, that somebody is just flat.
Yeah.
And they're too perfect.
Too perfect or too bad. You know, it can go both ways. If
Yeah.
you're writing, if
Exactly.
you're writing the bad boy, he has to have something good. Like he has to love his mother or something. You have to do something. And if you're writing the good girl, she's got to accidentally do something.
And one of my characters, one of the bad boys, he actually comes through in the end, and is sort of like an anti-hero.
Right.
But he sort of like saves her in a way.
Yeah.
But then she says, you know, then
She's just fierce.
she just turns into fierce self.
She just does it. Well, now that we did this fabulous book and have a book award and all sorts of things, are we getting another book out of you?
That's coming through. She's coming through again to me, and I'm writing her the second part of that book.
Okay.
I leave it off as it's a satisfying ending, but it's a little bit of a cliffhanger.
Right.
So you can wait for the next
You can
one.
get to the end and
It's-
say, ah,
but
yes, exactly. Exactly.
but
There's
what's
another
going to
one
go
coming?
on? Yes.
Do we have to send you back to Jamaica?
I was
I
just
think
about to
that-
say that. Do you have to go back to Jamaica?
Yes, dear. I need to go back to Jamaica.
I'm all about writing coupled with travel.
Yes.
You know, when you have a book and you're like, honey, I have to do some research for the book. I think, you know,
We
honey, I
did.
have to do some research for the book. Go to Jamaica. I think so.
Yeah, it was great. It was a very good experience, and plus we went a couple of years later back to Jamaica, and I did get a little bit more. I went back to that place where I was. I think it's called Rose Hall,
I'm
and
going there in August.
No way, you're going
Yes.
there?
go to Montego Bay.
I'm
and
gonna
visit
have to
Rose
read the book
Hall.
now.
Yes, you are.
So I'm
I
going
described
there.
the whole building.
Oh
and
my
everything like
gosh!
that.
Guess what book you're reading
I'm
next?
gonna have to read this.
Oh,
now.
maybe on the plane. 'Cause she's gonna
That's
finish
because
it
I'll
on
be
your
finished
trip.
with that one.
Yeah, you can read it on
Finish
your
that one
trip.
in the next
Finish with that
15
one.
minutes. You need to read this on
That
the
would be
plane.
great.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's so wild. Where aren't you going? Oh my God. And you're
That's
going
a
back
girl's
to
trip,
Jamaica
so,
to research the second book.
Yes.
Unless
A little
you
bit of
want them in
tribe.
the other book to go to another island.
Well, the next book, actually, I did so much warmth in this book, I decided that the next book was going to start out in the Antarctic.
Oh,
So I started out there because she could go anywhere.
You know,
She's a
there's
spirit.
cruises that go there.
Antarctic.
She's a spirit,
Yeah.
so she can go anywhere.
Right. That's pretty different.
I've never been there.
I haven't
You could take a
no,
cruise
it's
there.
okay. It sounds fantastic.
Yeah, you see, I think
An
it's
ice
a business
flow.
trip.
I start out. On an ice flow, so it's all. And maybe I
Wow.
did it during the winter, and I started.
Yeah.
And I was cold.
You were cold, you were
I was
thinking.
cold. So I pushed it into the book. But you know, she turns into, she can be a spirit when she wants to. She goes into the astral plane through the grace of an amulet that she wears that was
And
given to
I
her.
love
That's so
Andrea has
cute.
bookmarks, and besides the bookmarks being absolutely beautiful, they have
It has my
they
little
have the actual, you know, that
amulet that she
has
wears.
against her. And I saw this when you brought them tonight. I said, does it have all the power? I want it to have all the power. I love that. These are absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you, thank you.
Beautiful. Where can our viewers find you?
You could find me on Amazon, of course, Barnes & Noble. And I am in a tiny place in Brooklyn.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bookstore in Brooklyn and Greenpoint that
Very
they took
cool.
a couple of books for me and they told me, and I did a signing there. It was very nice.
Very cool. Very cool.
Right.
Well, we have an award-winning author here. I need an autograph.
Thank you.
And we're going to go to commercial, and we'll be right back. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I definitely need an autographed copy. And then I think I'm going to lend my copy out.
I'm like, did you bring it extra? Yeah, you have extra. I
I have
can
to tell
give
you that I knew immediately you were talking about Rose Hall.
Very good. I knew it.
So, it's the White Witch
Right, the right
who
white
was
Richard.
in Rose
Well, now I know what my
Hall.
mother's reading next.
So this is, to me, it came out that the witch sort of said, this is not where I'm supposed to be, and the person who was there first came through.
I can't remember the name of the book that I read. That
The
was
White
all
Witch
about-
of Rose Hall.
White
Yeah, I
Witch
guess
of
that was
Rose
it.
Hall?
Yeah.
Witch of Rose
But
Hall.
when we were in Montego Bay, we went to Rose Hall.
And
we
it's
had the whole-
beautiful.
Oh, it's lovely, absolutely lovely.
Yeah, I described the whole grounds
As
and
you were
everything.
talking, I'm like, I wonder if she's talking about Rose Hall. And you were.
Yes.
cool.
And you're going there.
And I'm
both have to
going.
read
And
that
And you
you
don't have
both have to
to.
read the book, yeah.
And you're going
That
there.
is so funny.
And I think you're reading on the plane, and I'm getting an autograph. It's all good. Have you been to Rose Hall too? We can make it a threesome.
No, I haven't.
I've been to Jamaica, but
not Montego Bay?
Only there
no,
for-
I think I was wherever the waterfall is.
Ocho Rios.
Ocho Rios. Okay, I was at Ocho Rios.
I've never been to Jamaica, so this will be our first
We were
time.
there for a couple of hours.
Oh, we live?
I think we're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Between the Covers. Well, I think we're back on now. I'm not sure now when we're on and when we're off. But now we have audience coming up. And hey, anyone in the audience, if you need more wine, you need some book recommendations, come on up here. Our next author is Raquel Tolson, who wrote Undefiled. And this book is exactly what it looks like it is. I love that. As soon as I saw the cover, I was like, ooh. The cover, the title, I just started reading immediately.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about this book and what inspired it, and a little bit about it to give us a hint.
Well, I'll start this way. So Undefiled came from actually a conversation I had with a cousin in New York, actually.
Oh, okay. And here we are in New
Here
York.
I am in New York. Yeah, and I really can't tell.
You can't tell us about the conversation? Well, the book is right there on the edge, too, so I get that. I totally get
The
that.
conversation kind of led to the book.
Okay. Without giving away.
It was.
Well, let's just say that we can't talk about the conversation, so you really want to read the book.
But okay, so then I made a movie. I did a screenplay because I live in LA.
Okay.
My son dragged me
And
there
we're so excited
when
that
he
you're
was little.
here. This just so worked out.
It's so worked out.
With flying into New York and
Yeah.
flying out of New York, and we're
Yeah.
filming that day. Get on the show. I love that.
So my son wanted to go to LA to act. He was 10 or 11 at the time, but I had went out there and I was an extra in a movie. So he was like, "Hey, let's move to LA." So we moved out there. So that's what everybody writes. You go to a Starbucks, everybody's writing a screenplay. So I did a short film based on the idea from
The conversation
I
that we
had
kept
with my cousin. And the short film did really well in some festivals, and people wanted more of the story because the short film was just about the end of the story.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, the juicy part.
The juicy part.
The juicy part, right. So I wrote the manuscript to give the backstory.
Okay.
So you can fall in love more with the characters.
Exactly,
And
which
so
I
you can
did.
kind of see
So
why
when it got juicy, I was a little more forgiving.
Right. Right. So I know everybody's like, what is it? I don't like giving it away because the book,
Oh.
you really,
No,
it's
you
like,
gotta read
it
the
makes you
book.
keep turning the page
You
so
do.
you get the juicy part.
You
So I
do.
don't want to give it away.
I was reading the book on the
don't.
train.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the book. You sent me a digital. And this was me with my iPad. I'm sure the person next to me was like, "What do you read?" I was like, and they're like, "Could I borrow that iPad?"
Right. So the title, though, Undefiled, it comes from the Bible. It says the marriage bed is undefiled. So, and it's like, well, what does that mean? So that means, in my opinion, I'm no biblical scholar. I'm not a, pastor or anything like that. But to me, that means that whatever a husband and wife do in their bedroom together is their business, and God does not frown upon it. He doesn't say, "Oh, it's good. It's undefiled." So, what could somebody ask? What could your spouse ask you to do? That you might be like, "Oh no!"
Okay, you got to see how many people just clicked on Amazon.
But it's a question. I mean, and then so we were talking about. So is it a Christian fiction because these people go to church?
Yeah,
they
well,
go to church and biblical. That's a biblical, thing.
Yeah.
But then when you add the sex scenes,
Yup.
when you add maybe some drinking wine, when you add a cuss word or two, now you can't say it's a Christian fiction.
Well, that was the thing. I came home from when I was reading it, and I walked into my office, and I was like, and they're like, "What'd you just read?" "Ooh, she's on the show on Wednesday." And I said, "I just want to know how she's marketing this book, because it's a Christian book, because they're in church, and obviously it matters to them." But they're also, and I know according to like Amazon and book categories, if you are a Christian romance, you can't be saying those things you're saying.
Right.
But if you're over here, they're not necessarily the church going. And I love what you said to me when I came here and I asked you about it.
Yeah. Well, so first of all, I call it inspirational fiction.
Okay.
But it's church people that, you know, does regular people. Because, like,
That's right. They're regular people.
I love God. I go to church. I've been in church. My grandfather was actually a pastor of a church. But I drink wine. And
the
guess
end of the
what?
night, at
And
the end
Jesus
of the
didn't
night.
made it from water, water
right.
to wine. But I'm like, I drink it
Cheers.
straight from the And I don't think that makes me less of a, you
Absolutely.
know.
And I love that you
Yeah.
were saying that because, you know,
Yeah.
people think that all church people are just over here. It's not good for people and it's not good for church.
It's not.
It's not good for church. For it kind of puts up
not.
a wall.
It does.
Well,
So
you
you
know,
had
we
real
were talking
people.
about before with character building. We're complex individuals.
Exactly.
We're not just one-sided.
It's just, yeah,
Exactly.
it's
I-
fleshing them out and making them a whole person. It's so important.
And then
relatable.
the heroine, she's kind of struggling because she's a new Christian, and so she kind of struggle,
like,
and
"Oh,
she's
what do
a
I
single
do?"
mom, never married, single mom. So I mean, for some churches she wouldn't be able to
Right.
because she has a child. So, but you know, it's these kind of things. These are the kind of things. So
And they're real.
They're real. My
And they're
tagline for just all my books is, "I make you think about what you think about."
Okay, I like that.
So don't just say you're a Christian and you think one way. Why do you think that? And does that thought really serve you?
Right.
Is it serving the people around you? Or is it ostracizing people who need to know God, but they won't because of these thoughts that you have?
Exactly.
And I mean, to me, like I said, that's why I consider myself a Christian author, because I'm trying to win people to God, to think of God as love and not as judgment.
As judgment. Exactly.
And so some people are like, but you have to be holy. Well, guess what? Because God resides in me, I'm already holy.
That's
It
right.
doesn't matter what I drink.
That just
right.
resonates.
It doesn't matter what I say out my mouth.
Really.
You know, and sometimes I do try to not cuss people out.
Oh, well.
At least on TV she tries. She really tries.
I do try.
I know.
But every now and again,
Of course.
I feel like I'm being kinder if I cuss you out, because that means that you will think about what you're doing so the next person won't shoot you. That's
So
just
you're
it.
helping.
I'm helping.
You're
them.
providing a
I'm
public
helping.
service.
I know. I'm already here. I'm gonna have emails like, no, that is not.
But I love that you want people to realize that it's not here or
not.
here.
And we have to stop judging people.
Absolutely.
We have to. That's not our place.
You're right.
You know,
right.
it's not our place.
And on the other end of that is not fun.
Oh my gosh, being on the other end of judgment.
Oh
Right.
God, no.
Right. And then so in the character, she is basically judging her dream man. She meets the man of her dreams.
That's right. And judges him. You're right. And judges him.
And judges him because of something from his past.
Yeah.
Well, my goodness, what do we learn in church about judgment and like second chances and
That's right.
you know? So
That's
it's
right.
really, really, I think, and not just because I wrote it. I think it's a book that like it'll make you have some conversations, some
I
good
think so.
conversations.
I like that.
And even with yourself.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yes.
How am I
I
judging?
like
How am I
that.
thinking
Yes.
about
I
other
like that.
people?
Conversations with
Yeah.
yourself.
And then there's no judgment if you decide that you know you wouldn't do what she did. Or,
That's right.
You know,
That's
there's
right.
no judgment.
No, you be you.
You be you,
That's right.
but no judgment. You know.
Now, do we have any other books coming from you?
Okay, so there are, but
Ooh.
not
Not like this.
like that yet.
Different. Okay.
Different. But the very next book,
Not
my
like-
son. No. The very next book we're doing actually is a children's.
Are we going from this to a children's book? Really, you're killing me.
It's actually a bedtime prayer too. That's so fun.
Because she's a multifaceted author.
You
You're
know.
not just one-sided. I love that.
I just want people to really understand. So when I come back with the next, like,
You're going to be on the show again, and it's going to be like,
they're like, is this the same person that put out the bedtime?
that works for me.
Yeah.
Now I know
well
they can find
rounded.
you where, Ray Cole?
The book can be gotten on Amazon, Barnes and Noble.
Right.
And you know, if you go to Barnes and Noble store, they'll order it.
That's right.
For you. And then if enough people go into the same Barnes and
They'll-
Noble store, they
they'll-
might even put the book in there. And
Oh,
I'm just
well,
saying,
yeah,
you
that's
can,
just-
you can help me out a
Yeah,
little
exactly.
bit by
Dream
doing
come
it,
true,
right?
yeah.
Exactly.
I also have a website, RaykelTolson.com, where they could order the book if they want it autographed, and then I'll autograph it and then send it out.
Fantastic.
Yeah, but yeah.
Love that. Well, we're going to cool down, and I'm going to get my book autographed. And we'll be right back after this commercial.
Everybody get up when you're feeling down. Everybody get up, turn your life around.
When you trust yourself, you have the power to make up your life. Studio 1031 is an environment where excellence is always expected. We work with all types of people from all walks of life. We give deserving women something that they wouldn't give themselves.
Everybody get up.
Come join this makeup movement. When you're feeling down, turn your life around. Make up your life.
I know it's gonna be alright.
Let's go. Just come on. No, I've plans with her. I'm sorry, but that's the deal.
A little bit closer, a little bit to the left. Yes, leave your beard, please. Okay, there we go. 3, 2,
Daddy,
One.
Daddy! Daddy. Ash, Mommy.
Welcome back to Between the Covers. Well, I was about to say, on a totally different note, we have Creating Luminous Spaces by Maureen Colomia, but during the commercial break, we were discussing that this has a lot to do with our other books that we're reading. So Maureen is a Feng Shui expert, and this book is all about how to bring the power of nature into your home, and whether you want to energize it or calm it or all sorts of different things.
Yes, yes. Actually, it's all about creating spaces that de-stress us. You know, because stress is such a global epidemic.
Oh God, yes.
And people don't realize that we spend 90% of our days inside buildings or more.
Oh yeah.
If you think about
Oh
your
yeah, that
day.
book you were recommending that we're never outdoors. Yes.
Right. And you know, stress is one of the causes of not being out in nature. So, you know, that was kind of the inspiration for my book.
I love that. So it's kind of bringing the outside in because we need.
Yes, I mean, of
outside.
course, we need to be more aware of nature in our lives
Yes.
too, and try to get out more. But it's not really a common thing for people to all of a sudden switch their career and say, okay, now I'm going to be doing an outdoor kind of job.
Right. It's not
So
going to happen.
we really need to bring nature into our spaces
Right.
more. Yes.
And you talk about the elements of nature, fire and wood, and what can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So the 5 elements of nature are really from Eastern philosophy. And they represent not just the material, so like the wood
Right.
or the stone. They represent an energetic quality. And it's everybody has each of the 5 elements within them, just like nature does. And you know, there's different qualities associated with each one of these elements. So wood is, you know, just like a tree or a new plant. It's uprising energy, and fire is kind of ephemeral. We call it ascending type of energy. Of course, what do you think Earth is? Very grounded,
Grounded,
right?
yes.
And
Grounded.
stable energy.
Okay.
And then we've got metal, which is contracting energy,
okay.
pulls in. And then we've got water, which everyone knows is the
Flows.
flowing energy.
Right.
So all these energies represent like every, you know, just aspects of nature. That when we identify which element that we're connected to most, it can really help us understand ourselves more. And we can bring that element into our spaces.
What made you get interested in Feng Shui? I love that.
Well, yeah. So I was probably an odd child, but I got into spirituality as a really young child. I was
Really?
about 10.
No.
Yeah, well, my father died, and you know, it's kind of like one of those things in your life where, you know, when a parent dies, you know, sometimes that doorway opens. And I stepped through and I started studying astrology and a little bit of meditation and Buddhism, and I just went down all these paths. But
At 10 years old.
Well, not really
Well, after,
meditation,
yeah.
but it did evolve
Lead,
into
right.
that over into my adult life.
Wow.
And I was always interested in architecture too,
Oh, okay.
because I always wanted to understand, like, how do places make us feel so good? Some places, right? Or some places make you feel really horrible.
Okay.
They have such an impact on us.
Oh, you're right.
Right? So I mean,
Right.
like, we all know that.
Yes.
And I always wanted to learn, like, what's the language around that? Like, how do you do that? How do you create a space that makes people feel really good? And when I came across Feng Shui, I went, wow, this gives us, this discipline that's been around for thousands of years, gives us a language to use to figure out how to build our spaces and how to create our spaces to make us feel better, and how to take a space that makes you feel not so good and kind of shift it. So it just really intrigued me.
Oh, I love
I
that.
have a question. So I'm waiting to move to the beach. You know, I'm waiting for the $1 million.
We're all waiting to
I'm
move.
waiting to so what can I do to bring, because I love the water, the flow, that just gives me, that makes me really creative. So how can I bring that into my home?
You really want to nurture that aspect. So, you know, the easiest or most direct way, obviously, is to get a fish tank or a fountain. Fountains are a little easier to take care of. But also even bringing images of water and the ocean into your space is an inspiration. And, you know, there's certain places in our home that, you know, artwork has a real big impact on us. And there's certain places in our home that it has even more significant impact. So across from your bed, across from your desk, above your headboard. Think about where you sit at home, like most of your time when you're sitting at home. What is your view? What are you looking at?
Right.
So those places are really the key places to put artwork to help you, to inspire you to where you want to go.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
I had been thinking about that, and I was so excited when you were coming on because in my office, I realized I spend, 26
time
hours
in
a
there,
day
yeah.
in my office, so I should
Absolutely.
do something with that. And lately now, I have there's a window, wide open, a collection of bonsai and different bamboo plants,
beautiful.
and a giant fish tank, trying to bring in
Yeah.
those
Nature,
elements.
yeah. So you've got natural light, you've got fresh air, And I always, like in the book, I do talk about if you work from home or wherever you work, try to get those two things.
Yeah.
Those are huge, and everyone knows. You know, if you went to work in an office like I did in the 1980s in Manhattan,
Right. Oh.
the window office was like,
Yeah.
you were the
Yes,
king,
it is.
right?
Right.
But even so, the windows didn't open.
And you know what? My first job in the city, it was a closet, and they apologized to me. But I was so happy because I actually had my own space.
Right.
I didn't care that it didn't have a window, right?
Because you could bring everything in.
Right, and that's when I started bringing
how to do
plants
that.
in, and I found plants that are good for low light.
Oh, good,
you know.
good. Okay.
But then we moved offices to 43rd and 5th, and I actually had a window office that had windows on 2 walls. And
you
they
were
opened.
big time. Look
Wow.
at
So I like
you.
moved up in the world.
Fancy.
But really our workspaces, it's so important because we do spend so much time
Yes,
there.
yes.
To bring in plants, to bring in a water feature, to kind of get that
Yeah, I was
Energy
feeling no energy, and I said, I gotta do
awesome. Not everyone loves the sound of water,
Yeah.
so it may not be your thing, but yeah, like crystals or rocks to kind of make you grounded.
Oh, I like that. Oh, I haven't done that. I'm gonna-
Yeah,
That's a great
little like
idea.
something if you can't have candles in your office, but you can get things that are red, little red.
I'm all about the
accessories to
red.
bring in there.
Yes, she
Yes,
likes the red.
absolutely. And what am I missing? Well, metal. Offices have enough metal. We don't need to bring more in.
Okay.
Just think about all the metal furniture.
That's true.
And that's,
I like
and that's
equipment.
contracting.
And that's contracting energy,
Yeah.
which
Okay.
is
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
And also the energy, I know someone was asking about clutter before we were on the show, but metal is the organizer. So
okay.
metal is creating our spaces that are structured so that we can like clear desk and orderly and structure and organization so that we can get things done.
Wow, I love all that.
Yeah,
And I want to feel good in my own house.
for sure.
You know, your house should be an oasis. It should be the
Yes.
place you feel best in the world.
Absolutely.
And you know, I came to this realization. I said, "Gosh, I go on vacation and I love this place where I am. I want to have that same,
Yes.
you know, hotel resort feeling at home."
I don't know. You might be mentioning my intro. So one of the inspirations for the book was when I was in Maui on a beach. I was 22, watching the sunrise, and I had an experience. I had a very spiritual experience, and I really, the way I could explain it is, it's like my heart burst open. I felt everything around me as if there were no boundaries between my body and nature around me.
Wow.
The colors, you know, everyone knows what it is to see a sunrise. So, and everything around me. So just the feeling of every sense. And, you know, that is what I said, you know, the name of the book has to be Creating Luminous Spaces.
Yes, love that.
Because we want to bring that into our everyday lives.
Yes, yes.
And we can. The thing, like one of the biggest things I say to people is be mindful of nature in your everyday life. And you know the old adage, stop and smell the roses. But it is so true. And you know how many people I see, you know, if I'm walking along with flowers, nobody stops. I do.
You're
I
right.
stop, I smell the flower,
Good.
I feel it, I experience it, and then move on. It takes 10 seconds.
But it makes a huge difference.
Absolutely.
I have a rose bush right in front of my house,
Oh.
and so the where my desk sits, I look out at the roses
Nice.
beautiful.
all the time. But one day, one day I was walking out, and I always look at them. But one day I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stop and actually smell the roses today.
I love that.
And I did. I mean, it just was like, and I just felt so blessed to just even have a rose bush at my house.
Exactly.
It was just like amazing. I just felt so
Absolutely.
like
I
blessed.
love that.
Absolutely.
I love
It's
that.
those little moments that we can do that connect us to nature around us that make all the difference in the energy of our day and how we feel.
Yeah.
And it takes nothing. And it just gives so much.
I love that.
agree.
And am I right that we can find you at luminousspaces.com?
Yes.
Luminous-spaces.com to get the book. Also Amazon and
Yeah, wherever
all the
online books are sold.
regular places so that you can bring nature into your house. Well, I am so fortunate to have 3 fabulous authors. I'd put together some tips on writing. hopefully you're going to help. So, Bobby, we have the 3 hardest things about writing and tips to push through. So let's see if what I wrote and what you think are the truth. So the first hardest thing about writing is the beginning, getting started. Some of our tips here before we talk: don't confine yourself to a linear timeline. Start, if you want to start the book in the middle. Ray, you said you started at the end. I love that.
I started my book in the middle.
I love that. You know, there's no reason. And so many people think, I have to start at the beginning. And no, you don't have to do that. Write the part you want to write.
Yeah. And if it's fiction, I tell people all the time, the characters will tell you where they want to go.
That's exactly what happened.
It sounds crazy.
That's
But
exactly.
the characters, I have a book that I'm waiting, but I'm like, the characters haven't told me what they want to do.
I get
I know
that.
the end. So I always start with the end. But so I'm like, where do you want to go?
Right,
What do you
right.
want to do? How do you want people to know who you are? What do you like? So I'm just waiting for the characters to tell me
I
the
love
kind of stuff that they
that.
like to do.
Well, my book, I actually started in the middle because that's the way it was told to me.
Yeah.
And then I said, well, I have to endear her to the readers.
Right, put in a little backstory.
So I put a little backstory. I brought her back to her childhood, and then we carried forward.
Terrific.
Met at the same spot that in the middle, and
Love
then
that.
went on with it. Because that's the way the book was told to me. That's the way she wanted to go. But it's starting a book is very difficult.
It's very hard. It's very hard. And our second major problem in writing a book is the middle. The middle when you reach writer's block. Any of you have writer's block?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you power through? Do you take a break? What do you do?
I actually have asked for inspiration in my dreams, and I've had Archangel Gabriel, who is actually the angel for writers.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and
Messages.
absolutely, he's the messenger.
The messenger.
Yeah. So, so I've asked for assistance, and I've gotten little visions
I
from
love
him
that.
to help me.
Oh, I love that so much. So
So
writer's
powerful.
block can be solved.
Absolutely.
Yes, it can.
I also sometimes when I do nonfiction, I'm like, how can I have writer's block? Because I never run out of things to say. I can talk with anybody. I'm at a gas station. I'm at the pizza place. I'm always talking.
But you're trying to put it into something
Well,
coherent,
I
right, for
know.
people to follow.
Right,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm about to say. But part of, to me, is sometimes we want to be so perfect.
Oh.
And like
Yes,
just write
it's
the
very
book.
hard.
Yes.
I always
And
say,
then edit it.
Write
Because-
first,
and
don't
write
edit.
first, so don't
Right.
edit. So,
Don't
but
edit.
that to me, a lot of the times the writer blocks come when you're trying to edit.
Yep.
And like
You're
put
right.
it, like you said, put it together. Just write what you need, your target audience, what you want them to know. Just
Exactly.
write
Yeah,
everything
well, you
like you
can't-
were talking to them,
Yep.
and then go back and put it together. And then you call somebody, an editor or somebody that can help you put it
I
right
agree.
like you need to. So I don't want people to think that, oh, she never had. No,
No, I get that.
But just like to think, okay, when you're doing nonfiction, just what you want the people to know, just tell it, just talk it, do it in a microphone or something. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, like they say that you can't edit a blank page.
That's right. So write something.
Right.
You got to write something so you can go back and edit it later, much later.
And our final scary part of writing a book is the end. Not just writing the end, but did you feel like sad or scared when you finished it? Like, oh my God.
Well, I felt the whoosh.
You felt the whoosh, okay,
felt
because you
that
had the
whoosh.
baby. You felt the whoosh.
Yes.
I felt exhilaration.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think I was. It was just like, okay, now I have the book. What's next? Like the marketing.
All right.
And that's a lot.
We all ended on a positive
Yeah.
note. Okay, we're going to take a 1-minute break and we'll be right back while I get an autograph.
Inspired by aerobic classes and a dream, Body by Tamika has helped hundreds of women reach their fitness goals. One size doesn't fit all, and neither should your fitness experience. Body by Tamika is about creating an environment where women can come together to work out, meet new friends, and get inspired. Whether you desire to lose weight, tone up, or prepare for a mommy makeover, Body by Tamika is here to help. Body by Tamika is considerate to female weight loss challenges resulting from pregnancy and or life changes that can be extremely resistant to diet and exercise. For stubborn problem areas, Body by Tamika offers non-invasive aesthetic procedures such as laser lipo and wood slimming body contouring. Book your free consultation today to see for yourself.
Are you a tie lover? You love the diversity in ties because they come in different colors, fabrics, patterns, etc. Get access to a wide variety of neckties. Buy from or trade with other tie lovers. Don't wear ties anymore? You have more ties than you know what to do with? Want to turn all those ties into real money? Do you just need a tie? You just need a tie for a special occasion. Now you can buy a tie today and sell it tomorrow. The Necktie Exchange, the online retailer where you buy, sell, and trade neckties. Register today.
Dropping gems from Keisha Christian. She's on a mission, sharing information, knowledge for soul, body and mind. Dropping gems, KeishaGems.com. KeishaGems.com.
Welcome back to Between the Covers. I hope that you enjoyed our authors as much as I did. I just want to remind you where we can find you. Andrea, where can we find you in your book?
Amazon and, at AndreaRoach.com.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a blog spot and I have a Facebook under Nights a Rose.
Fantastic.
Please
you want to
come and
grab a
join.
copy of that book for the summer read.
Yeah.
And, Ray?
RaykelTosin.com.
RaykelTosin.com. I love that.
Yes, and Amazon. And I'm actually going to be in Atlanta the 2nd of August, 2nd and 3rd, for it's a conference for women who are in book clubs.
Oh, fantastic.
National Book Club.
So any of our audience in Atlanta,
Yeah.
go find her.
Yeah.
First weekend of August. I love that. And Maureen?
Great. And I'm at luminous-spaces.com.
Okay.
And I have a Facebook page, Luminous Spaces Feng Shui, that you can join. And also on my website, I do have a bonus PDF that you can download that has quizzes
I'm going
and all
right
sorts
over-
of fun things.
quiz?
Yes.
I'm
The
on
quiz
my
is in the book, but it's easier to take on a PDF.
I
so.
love that. And if you forgot everything that you heard today, go over to BetweenTheCoversTV.com. We have links to all of our authors, all of their websites. Please read their books. You will have a fun summer read. Thanks for joining us.
Thank